Pokemon TCG Pocket's newest expansion, Mythical Jungle, is now out, and today we're going to take a look and talk about it. I think the most important takeaway is now realizing that all of these new expansions, events, so on and so forth, are going to be happening at 1 a.m. Eastern. That's 10 p.m. Pacific, and insert time zone here. I've been saving up my pack points and a whole bunch of other stuff, and I finally went ahead and, started utilizing them. Actually got myself the 2-star Mew EX, which is an adorable little card. There's a lot of cards here, not just the rare ones, that are going to be really changing how the battles are played. From simple Pokemon that are going to be doing ridiculous amounts of damage to coin flip chances, and then specific cards that came out that seemed like specific counters to things. There's kind of a lot to go in. I'm going to be summarizing a lot of it. I also got one alternative art, and it's this very nice sunbathing Salandit, and I think he or she is very cute. I'm guessing it's a he, because if it was a she, it'd be a Salazzle, right? I've opened a total of 85 pack points divided by 5. Because I'm making a video, this is a tax write-off, and we could open some packs right now. Anything good? Oh, we got one good one. The new coughing card is really neat. Put one random coughing from your deck onto your bench. So if you're running a Koga deck, you're going to be swapping out the base coughing with this coughing to be able to bring those coughings in faster, to bring those wheezings out faster, which I think is pretty awesome. Oh, my first blue. All of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks, so it's kind of like an anti-Giovanni. Really ironic because, blue took over Giovanni's gym. Magikarp's attack now makes it so that it swaps out its teleport. Salazzle, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Poison Claws does 30 damage. There's another, I think it's Salandit, the first form, that it does additional damage if the opponent is poisoned, like Venoshock. Pokeflute, put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. This is a card that if your opponent just threw out some weak thing right at the beginning and you were able to knock it out, you might be able to do that again. This is going to be a really interesting card to see how it's going to play out. Oh, the alternative art Marshadow. Revenge, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out last turn by an attack, this attack does 60 more damage. So if you had a Pokemon knocked out by Pikachu EX, and then you did Marshadow's Revenge the next turn, you can do that and knock out Pikachu with 2 energy with a non-EX card. That's a pretty fun card. Also, the Superior that just came out, the evolution of Snivy over here, that thing has crazy synergy with Celebi. Oh yeah, Salandit's Venoshock. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 40 more damage. It's weird, it's kind of like you're trying to get the Salandit out there and then swap it back out to the bench for Salandit. This is just a normal energy, so this might have great synergy with the Weezing Koga deck. Actually, Weezing doesn't need energy either. Okay, those are options. Oh, this is the fun pack. Electabuzz, this attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. I don't think you're going to be able to choose who it does damage to. It's just going to randomly pick one of the opponents, so it might be able to knock out the benched Pokemon. Do keep in mind that for this attack, weakness doesn't apply to it at all. Mankey's attack does 50 damage 50% of the time. So that's some crazy, if you get lucky with the heads, you're good. Oh, let's not even talk about the Eevee yet. Oh, I got another Salandit. Cool. Executes Growth Spurt. Take a grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. That's because the new Executor has Psychic, just like Alakazam does, which does damage based on the opponent's amount of energy on their card. The new Golem is so much better because Golem was weak before, but now 160 HP, attack does 120 damage, and this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. Golem is the card it's supposed to be now. This is the strong card. Chatot interesting. Shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. I could definitely see this being like a turn 1 card. If you went second and your opponent didn't play a lot of cards, next thing you know, they have like 7 or 8 cards in their hand. You play everything you need to, do this move, and now you also have 8 cards in your hand. Do keep in mind that in TCG Pocket, once there are no cards left in your deck, there's no penalty for that. It's not like you you know, lose the game automatically like it is in the real trading card game. Instead, you just keep going. We have Delmise, which is the same thing that regular Lapras did, 20 damage, and then if there's 3 extra energy, it does 90 damage. This pack significantly buffed grass types. Oh, here's the Executor with Psychic. Yeah, 80 damage and then 20 more for each energy attached. And now Graveler, the second stage, can do 40 damage. Do keep in mind, like, if you wanted to build Golem in a deck, you can choose Geodude, Graveler, and Golem from the base Genetic Apex or the Mythic Island expansion, or mix and match them, whatever you want to do. Stonejourner, 90 damage, no ifs, ands, or buts, 120 HP. That's a nice card. That's like, you know, that's like Diet Machamp EX over here. We got 2 of them, and one was a good one. Oh. This alternative art Executor goes hard. Oh, and another Marshadow. Great. I got both of those in the same pack. Cramorant has Dive, the same thing as Dugtrio's Dig. So you have a chance to negate damage to you next turn, although 3 energy on this is a little expensive. Mythical Slab. Look at the top card of your deck. If the card is a psychic Pokemon, put it in your hand. If it's not, put it at the bottom of your deck. So I can't think of like any psychics that you're really trying to get that 3rd stage out for, except for maybe Alakazam, but Alakazam isn't like the best card. But Mythic Slab can help with evolutions of psychic types. Because, you know, you have Pokeball for the base ones, but still. Rapidash, 1, went to the gym. She looks beautiful. 2, instead of it just being a base 40 damage for 1 energy, like it was from Ponyta, 20 damage, 1 energy, to Rapidash, 40 damage, 1 energy, now it's 40 damage or 60 more damage if you get ahead for a 2nd energy. This is just a Floudown improvement for like a Blaine deck, or just a nice easy addition to a fire deck. Shiinotic, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and 50 damage. That's not bad. It's another of the same Executor. It's another of the Salandit. Druddigon. This is our 4th dragon Pokemon. So all of the Dragonite line, and now we have our only new dragon. It's a single stage, so you just play it. Rough Skin. If the Pokemon in the active spot is damaged by an attack, your opponent's active Pokemon do 20 damage to the attacking Pokemon. So you can play Druddigon on turn 1, and if you're getting that damage, you're also reciprocating that damage. Oh, regular Mew. Side report. Your opponent reveals their hand. Oh, this is the same stats as the alternative art for completing the base Genetic Apex. Another Marshadow. Stomp on Ponyta. Flip a coin. If heads, his attack does 30 more damage. I would actually prefer the base Ponyta over this, because you're guaranteed that 20 damage every turn, instead of this being 10 or 40, which averages out to 20. I would just rather the guarantee 20 damage, you know what I mean? Dreadnaught's Crunch. Flip a coin. If heads, discard a random energy from the opponent's active Pokemon. So this is kind of like a less good Aerodactyl. And Florges. Bloomshine. Heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. Oh, also, there is a trainer card that allows you to recall Mew EX to your hand. The Budding Expeditioner. Put Mew EX in the active spot into your hand. So if Mew takes damage, just bring it out. Just pull it and then throw it back out. That's not bad. Here it is. This is the Misty card all over again. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 20 damage for each heads. Eevee now isn't completely useless before actually evolving it into one of its evolutions. This can, in theory, do 200 damage in a single hit. Oh, and the new Raichu. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon, in addition to 60 damage to the opponent Pokemon. So you can use Raichu to counter Pikachu EX. Also, regular Pikachu has a new move too, which is based off of how many electric types are on your bench. It's the same thing as Pikachu EX. Instead of 30x, I think it's only 10x. 58 of the 68 cards. Nothing. Oh! There's something spicy back there. I was about to say I got nothing, no cool sounds, but Celebi EX, my first one. Flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. Now, this has beautiful synergy with the new Superior card that its ability, I forgot exactly how it's phrased, but I'm pretty sure it just means that every grass energy acts like 2 grass energy on every Pokemon. So with 2 energy on Celebi, plus that ability active, that's going to act as 4 grass energy on Celebi, which means that this attack does 200 damage. Now granted, you can't have Superior out, who's a 3rd form Pokemon, on until turn 3, really. Turn 3, this can be putting out 300 damage. Celebi might be the strongest card in the game now. Only 130 HP, it's going to be easily knocked out by other things. That's Pikachu EX with an Electric bench and a Giovanni card. So, little dicey. Whirlipede. I don't think I have the final one. What's its name? Scolipede? Lumineon. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. 50 damage is a big improvement over Hitmonlee's 30. Plus 80 HP isn't bad. I could see this having good synergy with the Greninja deck that does, little chip damage to the bench. Oh, and Leaf. During this turn, retreat cost is 2 less, so it's a double X speed, but it's a trainer card instead of an item card. And you can only play 1 supporter card per turn. Tauros. Bro, if your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, it does 80 more damage. This automatically does 120 damage to any EX card, which knocks out, Pikachu, Starmie if you have a Giovanni. This could be something to just keep on the bench as a reserve. Vaporeon. As often as you like during your turn, you may move a water energy from one of your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. It's nice to see some second stage Pokemon get an ability now. Granted, this doesn't generate energy for you. This is more like if you just happen to have that energy and you want to reallocate it, cool. Here it is, Scolipede. Oh yeah, it's Venoshock, but it's 70 plus. Oh, bro, Venoshock deck might be a real thing. Wheezing stocks just went really up. Granted, that's a 3rd form and getting that out is a little hard. Is there only Vaporeon in this deck? Oh, Behemoth, or however you say it. This attack does 20 damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. For 1 energy. Granted, this isn't good against like a Articuno deck because they're just running the 2 Pokemon. It's not bad, man. Especially fighting decks. Fighting decks typically have a lot of Pokemon in them. Geodude doing 30 damage for 2 energy. Another Celebi EX, very nice. I could finally build the Celebi deck now. Larvesta, he's so cute. Each grass energy attached to your grass Pokemon provides 2 energy. This does not stack. So there's not really a purpose to run or have both of them out at the same time in your deck, or maybe even have 2. Granted, significantly increases your chance of actually pulling it, but still. Superior with Celebi is going to be a great combination and give grass the well-deserved presence that it required. There's the new Gyarados EX card that Rampaging Whirlpool, discard a random energy among the energy attached to all Pokemon. Plus, now the whole related cards thing, it's going to be able to tell you which cards you can run with it or in tandem with it. So you could be like, oh, do I want, this Magikarp or the base Magikarp? Joltik also isn't anything to just completely sweep under the rug. 30 damage, 40 HP. It's the same thing as Tynamo, who evolves to Electros. But then it only requires the 2nd stage evolution to Galvantula. Granted, 80 HP, still not fantastic, but does 70 damage, and your opponent can't swap, can't retreat. That's not bad, especially if we're taking out weak Pokemon, and then you play the Pokeflute, and then they have to bring it back. That might have some viability. You no longer have to run Pikachu EX if you're running an electric deck. We now have a better Meowth for Psychic types. That's Psyglyph, does 10 damage, draw a card. And it has total of 80 HP, so a little bit improvement over Meowth. We now have Aerodactyl EX. Primitive Law, your opponent can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active Pokemon. So if you have Aerodactyl EX on your bench, which just keep in mind, that's just Old Amber and then Aerodactyl, your opponent can't evolve. Oh, the new Weezing card, I haven't pulled this one. Smokescreen. During your opponent's turn, oh, it's dive. It's dive and dig. Got it. I'm gonna run the original one that just automatically makes the opponent poisoned, and I do 30 damage for 1 energy. Pidgeot EX was the first EX card that I pulled from this. 80 damage, and it does 20 damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So if they have 3 out there, that's an additional 60, so this attack does 140. Cool. Yeah, and then the rest would be me just gushing over the art. We do have another crown card, the new Mew Gold card. And then we have one immersive art card, that being the Celebi card. If you want to go ahead and look that up and see the full animation, you can. Also, the Rainbow Mew looks adorable from this very small preview that I'm seeing. Oh, and I reached level 35. Nice. Deck missions. Oh, I completed all of them. Cool. I waited for this recording to go ahead and redeem that. And then themed collections, Untouched Forest, which is Executors, Raichu, and Shiinotic. Oh, did that get me something? Oh, it was the Untouched Forest cover for the binders feature. That's a neat little thing. It's giving jungle. I don't know why it's called a forest, because that's clearly a jungle. Tranquil Lake is going to be giving us the Tranquil Lake cover. If you're a Gyarados fan, there you go. I love how Mew's just floating through all of these. Scorching Wilderness is going to be giving us the Scorching Wilderness cover, as you can imagine. And oh look, there's a Mew flying up there. And a Weezing and some Salandits, Geodudes, some Volcaronas. Catching Bugs, 5 bug-type Pokemon that are none of them grass, ironically enough. Pokemon that fly, really catchy names, guys. Also, Flabebe floats, it does not fly. Attacks with 20 damage. Mew, Finneon, Swirlix, Venipede, and Pidgey. Small Pokemon, Dedenne, Chatot, Pidgey, Floette, and Choodle. The Tree of Repose. Primate, Pidgeotto, Dedenne, and Choodle. And what's our reward? The Tree of Repose cover. Oh, and it's the full art of all of them together. Flower Travelers. Oh, Flabebe, Floette, and Florges. Cool. Collect 3 blue cards. And is this going to be the blue icon? Yep, sure is. What's left? The Forgotten Ruins. So I need to get more Behemoth. A lot more Behemoth. And then you get the Forgotten Ruins cover. Use pack stamina to open 60 Mythical Island booster packs. And then you're going to be getting the Mythical Island Mew placemat, card sleeve, the Pokemon coin, and the cover for binders. Neat. Collect 3 Mew cards for the Mew icon. Mew EX does not count, despite the fact that there's 4 Mew EX cards. Oh, are there hidden missions? I'm gonna look this up. Yep, there absolutely is. The Mythical Island Museum 1 collects 6 star cards of Executor, Superior, Solanda, Vaporeon, Dedenne, and Marshadow for the 36 Wonder Hourglasses, shop tickets, and pack cooldowns. Collect 2 2-star cards of Mew EX and Aerodactyl EX. The Mew EX Museum, collect the 4 different Mew EX cards. And Mythical Island Tale of Adventure, collect the Mythical Slab, Budding Explorer, Mew EX, and Celebi EX immersive cards. And that's for the Celebi emblem. That's gonna be the rare one. This is the same thing as the Birds Take Flight Part 2, which you have to collect all of the Kanto birds and their rainbow hollows. There's also some pre-made decks in here, which, by the way, if you have all the cards to make the pre-made decks, you rarely do want to do the pre-made decks, as they typically have far too many Pokemon and not enough trainer cards. Oh, and I have Celebi EX, so I can use this deck here, which has 1 Shiinotic, 2 Morlul, 1 Delmise, 2 Execute, 1 Executor, 1 Superior. This is not a good deck. I mean, the basis is there, but tweak it a whole lot, please. So I'm happy to have Mew EX 2-star to display proudly in my binder right next to Mewtwo EX's 2-star card, as I feel like, you know, they kind of work well together next to each other. That's the only thing really of note that I've pulled, other than, you know, a bunch of these 1-star cards, but that's, you know, seemingly a dime a dozen, especially Salandit. Oh, one last thing before I go. I collected every single card from Genetic Apex except for 1. That being Wigglytuff EX. I don't know why she has eluded me for so long. Wigglytuff EX, there we go. Great. Finished Genetic Apex. Genetic Apex is done. Is there a pop-up? Is there a notification? Boop. 226. Complete! Congratulations, you collected every diamond card in the expansion. Register 226 cards in the deck, and you get the Mewtwo icon, the Charizard icon, and the Pikachu icon. Those are different icons from the ones that we already have. Oh, cool. Well, there I go. So we could assume there's also going to be the collect every diamond card of the Mythical Island. Have you guys pulled anything great? Who already got the crown card? Leave a comment down below if you are enjoying this expansion, and if there's any fun decks that you've been experimenting with, drop them down below. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Until next time, Austin John out.